Happy Vlogmas Day 16, everybody. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I thought we would do some present wrapping and a little bit of a Q&A. So I'm going to wrap some presents. Now these are not all of our presents. There are some people who watch my vlogs, so I can't wrap their presents on the vlogs. But my goal tonight is to get all of Kevin's and all of the girls wrapped, my brother and my grandma's done. And then I do have some gifts for some friends as well that I'm going to get wrapped up. I'm going to be seeing a couple of my friends in the next few days, probably for the last time before Christmas, so I want to get their presents ready. So let's jump right into it. First of all, I have a list of questions. These are from my YouTube community post that I made, and also from TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. I just kind of asked everybody, like, ask me questions that you want to know. So I'm going to, when this video goes live, I'm going to tag everyone who asked me a question and let them know that the answer to their question is probably in the vlog. Because I think these are all the questions. But the very first one is super easy, and then super easy to answer, and the second one's a little more in-depth. So I'm going to answer this first one and then jump into the second one while I start wrapping. But the first question is from Katie, and she asks, what did we have for dinner tonight? Tonight we had roast beef sandwiches. The girls love deli meats. They like turkey and roast beef and ham. They love it all. So we had roast beef sandwiches because Kevin wasn't feeling the best, and that was going to be the best meal for me to do with them. So that's what we had for dinner. Okay, first gift to be wrapped. This one has been giving me anxiety because I'm afraid Kevin will see it, and I really wanted this one to be a secret. So I got him this, and I'm going to wrap it right now and answer the next question. My mom and I made these gift wrap holder things out of toilet paper rolls last year. Did a really good job. This is going to be like the perfect amount, and then this roll will be done. This question is from Rachel, and it says, how hard is it transitioning from one child to two? And I can answer this in two parts. For me, it was hard in some ways and easier in others. Or if they're close in age, you'll have two small children who are vying for your attention. In my case, Naomi was a preemie. So in a lot of areas, she was delayed and younger, behaved younger than a typical child would. So like, for example, Naomi was 1.5, almost, she was 14 months when Ella was born. And a typical 1-year-old can say a few words, is starting to learn how to walk. A lot of 14-month-olds can walk already. Naomi is 2 and still can't walk even now. She could give herself a bottle, so that was helpful. She couldn't feed herself. She really actually wouldn't eat very many solid foods. That was kind of stressful. But, so that kind of added on to a little bit of the stress because it almost felt like I had 2 infants at times that both needed my attention all of the time versus like having a toddler, a true toddler, and then having a newborn. So, in that sense. But the other thing of it was, because Naomi was so young, I was already in the mode of like having a smaller baby or a younger child, and I think that really helped me be able to just kind of jump right back into it with Ella and feel like I didn't miss a beat. So it was kind of hard because there's 2, but in other ways it was really good. And now they play together and they're each other's best friends, and they're kind of very similar and at very similar stages. So that part was easy. Thank you for your question, Rachel. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite Christmas tradition to pass on to your kids? Now, this is really hard for me because I have a ton of Christmas traditions that we used to do when I was growing up, and a lot of them involved being in Zambia, so the weather was warmer, things were different there. Like, for example, growing up, we went to the water park every Christmas Eve for a very long time. It was only when we got older and the water park kind of declined a little bit that we stopped doing that. And I would love to bring back that tradition. I think that would be so fun. But obviously living in the middle of Ohio, we can't do that. In the winter, it would be very not fun. My favorite tradition that I cannot wait to pass on to my kids is Christmas morning. And when we were younger, my mom would get up before everyone else. She would get all of the presents out and put them under the tree. She would stuff all the stocking. She would come and wake us up, and then she would have cinnamon rolls or some kind of like really fun breakfast for us to have while we waited for my dad to get up. And we would go in and we would jump on my dad's bed and try to get him up. And he's not a morning person, so for him it was like, oh my word, come on guys, it's Christmas. He would get up and he would have his tea, and we would make his, like, get his tea stuff ready for him so we could go. We're like, we want to go, open gifts, come on. But we, as a family, would sit down around our tree and around our presents, and my dad would read to us Luke 2, the whole thing. And it was just kind of this great reminder of like what Christmas was truly about. Yes, we're gonna get presents. Yes, we're gonna have fun as a family today, and we're gonna spend time together, but this is the true meaning for the season. And so that was really cool growing up, and I can't wait to pass that on to my kids. And it'll kind of morph and change into its own thing. But, you know, we're gonna keep up with that tradition. So thank you for your question. That was Alyssa who asked that question. Alyssa also asked, what is my favorite Christmas song? So my favorite Christmas hymn is O Come, Emmanuel, and I have a really great version of it right now that I'm listening to that I absolutely love. If you're curious about what version it is, let me know in the comments and I can let you know. But I'd have to look up the artist. Present number 1, done! My second favorite Christmas song after that one is Last Christmas by Wham. And the last time in the vlog I talked about favorite Christmas songs, I did not want to talk about it because I know my mom would be like, what? That's your favorite Christmas song? But hey Mom, at least my favorite Christmas song isn't Tender Tennessee Christmas, and it most definitely will not be. But anyways, so those are my favorite Christmas songs currently. Alright, so thanks for your question, Alyssa. Now the next few questions were all submitted by the same person, by my best friend Liz. She was on the vlog recently, so thanks Liz, you're the best. Okay, present number 1, done. By the time I'm done, I'm gonna have like a giant stack of presents around me. Okay, now I want to see if I can find something that will just fit into this little piece of paper that I have left. Oh, maybe this will. This is also for Kevin. And I'm really excited about this for him too. Okay, so next question.
Oh, wow.
How do you manage your time around the holidays with the kids? So, like, do you limit the houses you go to, or do you rotate years? Which side of the family do you go to? Or have them on different days? So we kind of do a combination of this. And since having kids has kind of changed a little bit for me, so most of you know that I grew up in Zambia, Africa, so away from all of my Ohio family that I'm now very in proximity to, closer to than I was when I lived in Zambia. So for me, it's like super important to be able to spend these holidays with my grandparents and my cousins and my aunts and my uncles, because I missed out on so many of them growing up so far away. So when I was in college, I would go to every family event that there was, that everyone was getting together. I would try my very best to go to everything. I didn't always make it. So now that we're married, Kevin and I rotate. So like odd years, we go to my dad's side of the family for Thanksgiving, and even years we go to my mom's side of the family. But we always have something with Kevin's family because his parents rotate families every year. So we're able to see a different side of the family every year with Kevin's parents. And they usually don't have theirs on Thanksgiving Day. Usually it's that weekend, because for the past, like, as long as I've been a part of Kevin's family, someone, if not almost all of us, have been working retail. And so we haven't had... Some of us haven't had like Thanksgiving evening off or Thanksgiving afternoon off. We would get together that Sunday because we pretty much always had Sundays off. So that's been what we do for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, we used to go Christmas Day, we used to go down and see my dad's side of the family, but now that we live further away and the weather sometimes can be iffy, and since having Naomi, we definitely don't do that anymore. We try to stay home and do our own Christmas morning stuff. So like this year for Christmas morning, we're gonna be here together as a family, and then we're gonna go to church, and then we will go and see Kevin's parents. It's our tradition to go and be with Kevin's family, like his siblings and his parents, Christmas night, like every year. And it was always so much fun when we were dating and when we were in college and stuff. We would go and we would literally spend the entire evening, like we would open our gifts and have our dinner, and then we would spend the entire evening like playing Jackbox games or playing board games or something. But I think this year, because of the girls, we are not staying up there Christmas night. We're just gonna go and visit and then come home for bedtime and put the girls to bed. So that's how we do Christmas. And then on Christmas Eve last year, and we're doing it again this year, we went down to where my grandmas live because they live in the same town, and we visited both of them in the same day. We took the girls, well, I was pregnant at the time, so we took Naomi and we went and spent as much time as we could with them because we really want them to have that time. So that is how we kind of handle the holidays and manage our time. But for the most part, there's only one thing I do to manage my time. Caffeine. Yes, lots and lots of caffeine. Actually, I'm gonna need gift bags for. Like, I know some of this is gonna need a gift bag. I'm gonna need gift bags for this. I don't even know why I brought this out here. I'm actually gonna need a gift bag for this too. It's a blanket. I don't really know how I'm gonna wrap that. Oh, I know, I can wrap these. I got this from my brother. He wanted it. So, thank you, Liz, for that question. Next question. Are you a wrapper or a gift bagger? I'm a wrapper. I like to wrap presents, and that's because I like watching people tear the wrapping paper and tear into it and get something that they were expecting or not expecting and just be like totally blown away and excited. I love that. I thrive on that. I like wrapping presents. However, there are some presents that you can just not wrap. You cannot wrap them. There's no way. It won't work. Like my brother had a cable on his wish list, and I got it for him, and that sucker's going in a gift bag because I'm not wasting my time trying to wrap that. So yes, wrapping when I can, bags when I cannot. Alright, next question. What is your favorite Christmas movie? So I said this in an earlier vlog that my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone, but I'm going to change it. My girls have been obsessed with Mickey Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas, those like little short movies. So they've been loving that. And recently we have watched Frosty the Snowman like 7 or 8 times. They love it. I can put it on and they will watch it. There's not very much other than Bluey that I can put on and they will actually sit here and look at the TV and watch. So Frosty the Snowman is my current favorite. Alright, let's wrap one for my girls. This is a joint gift I got for them. It's significantly smaller than I thought it was going to be. I probably should have gotten them each one. But, alas, I did not. So this is what they have. Okay, let me pick a different paper. Alright, next question. What was Christmas like in Zambia growing up? How has it changed, and what has stayed the same? This is a great question. Like I said before, there's a lot of traditions and things that we did growing up in Zambia that you just can't do them here. It's impossible. So Christmas has changed a lot for me in that sense. First of all, the one thing, and I know there are a few people who will understand what I'm saying, but Christmas in Zambia is in the middle of the rainy season. So it is like it rains every single day. Sometimes all day, sometimes multiple times a day. It's rainy. So for me, it's similar to Christmas here because it rains a lot here. If it's not cold enough to snow, it's raining. And that is very Christmassy to me. Growing up in Zambia was very, very different because Zambia, and I think it's changed a lot now compared to how it was when I was younger, but people celebrated differently. They didn't often give each other gifts or give people gifts. It was more like a time to get together and eat. And Zambians love to eat. So people would get together and they would have braais, which are cookouts. That was honestly like the main way to celebrate. And Boxing Day was a really big thing there. People would get together on Boxing Day. If you don't know what Boxing Day is, it's like a British thing. It's influenced from there. Definitely one of the ways that it's different. One of the ways that it's still the same is the rain. And it was so magical growing up. Like really just so fun. My parents did a great job of giving us awesome Christmases every year. There also have been like multiple Christmases that I remember since I moved here have not really felt like Christmas. And I never had that in Zambia. Even when I was a teenager and the presents weren't the main focus anymore, and you know, you're not getting new toys and you're not having that same kind of excitement, it still was like super exciting. And I guess that's just partially because of like tradition and being with your parents and your siblings and that type of stuff. But I, like, since moving back to the States, I guess it's just me like becoming full grown adult, that kind of like magical excitement for Christmas is just really, really gone for me. And it's kind of coming back now that I have kids, which I think is really cool and very exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Christmas! I can't wait for Christmas! So thank you so much for that question. The next question is, how do you budget money around the holidays? So this is a really tough question because sometimes I feel like I don't plan very well for what I need to spend and what I want to spend. But I am also a gift giver. It is like one of my favorite things to do is to give gifts. And whenever I'm out and about, running around, doing things, I purchase gifts when I see them. If I see something that makes me think of someone, I purchase it. So throughout the year, I'm purchasing Christmas gifts. That's one of the ways that I alleviate this like necessity for like a big chunk of change around this time of year, is purchasing gifts throughout the year to make it a little bit easier on myself. Something else that I think that really helps with the budgeting and the money spending around the holidays is having conversations with people. So like right around Thanksgiving, or actually kind of in the summertime, I am a big planner. I plan way ahead in advance, and that's part of the reason why I can shop for someone all year long. But I will be like to my siblings, hey, are we doing 2 presents a piece this year for everyone, or are we doing less? And we usually set a limit, and that limit is really helpful when you're trying to figure out how much money you're going to need. So then I usually try to keep each of their gifts around a $20 limit, so I'm only spending $40 per person. But I only have 2 siblings. Well, not for long. Having those conversations about how much you're going to be purchasing for everyone is a good idea. Like, I know I'm only getting 1 gift for my grandmothers. My parents don't live here, so they tell us not to buy them gifts. Alright, so that is the answer for that one. So the next question is, how will you teach your kids the true meaning of Christmas? I kind of touched on this a little bit with our tradition that I'm hoping to pass on to my kids about reading Luke 2 on Christmas morning. Honestly, we have a lot of books that are about the nativity, about the Christmas story, and it's my intention to get those books out every year and read them. And when they get a little bit older, I really want to do the Jesse tree. And I think one thing that my parents did that I would like to do is they had a beautiful box. It was decorated the most beautiful out of all the presents, had the best wrapping paper and a big bow, and when you opened it, all it said on the inside was John 3:16, which is the greatest gift of all, of course. So I think I want to keep doing that as also a part of a way to pass on a tradition and keep everyone's memory fresh about what Christmas is all about and the true meaning. What I really need is one of those elf things. I don't know if you've seen them, but they like go on the wrapping paper. You just slide it and it cuts the paper. I really need one of those. Maybe I'll get one for my mom for Christmas next year. How will you make room for new toys before Christmas? This is a good question. So, the answer to this is twofold. We didn't ask for toys. We didn't really ask for very many toys for the girls for Christmas. I made an Amazon wish list of things that the girls needed / things that we wanted for them. And the majority of it was clothing. Because they're growing like weeds and they wear the same size, so we need double everything. So yeah, so that's part of it. But also, Naomi's birthday is in November. And so what I did was I took time before her birthday party to go through and declutter a bunch of the toys that they don't really play with anymore. So stuff they had outgrown, things that just like were getting pushed back to the back and stuff like that. I got rid of 2 boxes of toys before Naomi's birthday. And then I got rid of another box of toys after her birthday when she got new toys and she was more interested in those. Some of them kind of replaced toys that we had. So that I did that. That's how I plan on doing it from now on, to make room for the new toys for Christmas and stuff. Once my parents are here for their retirement and then they're here every Christmas, it's gonna be game on. It's gonna be in big trouble. And the main reason for this is that my mom loves yard sales, and I feel like she's gonna give herself a $40 limit for each grandkid. And do you know what you can get for $40 at a yard sale? It will blow your mind. And we will have no room to live in our house if my mom does this. This is your warning, Nana. You have been warned that is not allowed. No, ma'am. You are not allowed to give a $1 limit. You have to put an item limit on your toys, on your gifts for Christmas. Have to. That's part of the way that we plan on keeping the toys from getting completely out of control, because I know that they will. This is the last question that I had submitted. So thank you everyone for submitting questions. I'm gonna wrap a couple more presents, and while we do that, I thought I would talk about the fact that this video is actually pre-filmed. So, as you've heard me say earlier, Naomi was a preemie and she was born very early. And with being born early, there's lots of challenges that come with that. Naomi has been diagnosed with a global delay from the time she was born. So, when Naomi was born at 28 weeks, they were adjusting her age to make up for that 3-month gap between her being born when she was supposed to have been born. So that developmentally we considered her where she should have been if she would have been full term. So for example, when she was 6 months old, we treated her more like a 3-month-old and had expectations of a 3-month-old. When she came home from the hospital, it was the day before her due date. Or the day after? May have been the day after. Yeah, it was the day after her due date and the day before Kevin's birthday. So yes, the day after her due date, we considered her to be a newborn, brand new baby, even though she was 3 months old at that point. That's the super confusing part. So anyways, now that she's 2, we no longer correct her age. And you have to go to developmental clinic when you're watching this. We are coming home from developmental clinic, neurology, and audiology follow-ups. And I know, some of you may know and some of you may not, but we are expecting a cerebral palsy diagnosis for Naomi to kind of give us an explanation as to why she's not walking yet. She's has a really hard time with her gross and fine motor skills. So we are fully expecting that diagnosis. We probably already have it by the time you guys are watching this. And I have been really struggling with that mentally as her mom, just because it's like, I don't know, there's nothing I can do about it except support her and give her everything that she could possibly need to be successful. I feel like I already do that by taking her to all the therapies that she goes to and trying to account for the time that was lost in the womb that she could have continued to grow. You know, we spent 79 days in the NICU, and that was really, really hard. I fully expect that diagnosis to come down, and I know it's not going to be an easy thing to go through, but my plan is to continue with this Vlogmas. My plan is to use this Vlogmas to show everyone, you guys, and everyone who ever watches this, that it doesn't matter what the diagnosis is. She's still Naomi. We are still a family. And even 5 minutes before we get that diagnosis, she's still going to be the same happy, excited, beautiful baby girl. It's not going to change who she is and who she will be. It's just going to provide us with the right steps to take, the right tools to work with, and give us a path forward. And that's really the conclusion that I have come to. And we have an amazing support system. All of our family who knows and all of our friends who know have been so encouraging and so helpful with just like, you guys, you know, like, you got this. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. Like, it'll be fine. If she's got the best mom and dad who can get her through this, and you know, just so encouraging, so encouraging. So I am taking heart in that. And that is my plan moving forward, is to just use it as a way to spread awareness and information and light, honestly. So, having said all of that, I hope that you guys have enjoyed my little Q&A while I wrapped presents. So I got almost all of our presents wrapped. I'm going to have to wrap some presents for people who watch this vlog at a later date, not on a vlog, so that I can wrap them in peace. But for the most part, I just wanted you guys to know kind of where we are and what's going on and why yesterday and today's vlogs are pre-filmed. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to feel a certain way about us going to these appointments. So that's part of the reason why I never said anything about what was happening and what we were potentially looking at. Not to end on like the worst note ever, but I did get a lot of wrapping done, which is great. I could scratch that off my list. I need some gift bags for these things to have all of our presents ready. But that is going to be it for today, Vlogmas Day 16. I got to all of your questions that were submitted. If you submitted a question and I didn't get to it, I think I'm going to do a Q&A later on, closer to Christmas. From me and my family to you and your family, happy Advent.
Say hi.